Yeah, this one's. But I just feel it's not quite on.
Yeah.
Asks the class. Okay, thank you. Okay, yeah. So this one really works. Okay, I even need to go down a little. So is that okay? Yeah. For this class, we have on-campus offering and also online offering. Online, so far, we have 12 students online registered from anywhere in the world. Okay. But on campus, we only allow 93 students. That's a fire code. Okay. The department, I think they closed around 85 or so. They were only allowed the exceptional students to get in. Okay. So far, I check everyone who is applying one by one. I did give a few permission, especially for CS graduate students. I did give some permission to get in. So I think officially we are around 87, 88. That means if you are, after this class, if you're thinking this class is not good for you, I would strongly encourage you to drop early so more students, other students waiting online can get in. Okay. But if some student you cannot get in now, if you are really CS PhD students, you really want to get into this course, you should try to talk to me during my office hours or sending me emails attached with your transcripts or some kind of status to prove you have enough background to take this course. Then there's a high chance that student can allow a very small number of people to get in. Okay, so that's the current status for this course. Okay. This course is the second course on data mining. So I assume everyone taking this course have some background on data mining, especially I expect you take CS412 or something like it. Okay. Some students did not take CS412, but it doesn't matter if you have taken, suppose, machine learning, good statistics background, a good database background. It is possible to handle this course, especially we have Coursera courses online. Okay, so if you need to make up background, you can watch the Coursera video I was teaching. I taught 2 Coursera courses last semester, and Professor Jai taught 2, which are also quite closely related to this course. So if you have those background, or by watching Coursera, you make up this background, then that should be fine. Okay. So before the class, I just first give you the overall structure on data and information systems in computer science. Okay. We have quite a few professors. I'm probably the most senior one, but we do have a lot of very good young blood. Okay, you probably can see we have a seminar course called Yahoo Diet Seminar. Okay, that seminar is not open to the public in the sense we do not put it as CS 591 seminar. We essentially is only open for graduate students in the right working on this. But you are welcome to attend if you send an email to this diet seminar organizer, and if the organizer says you are okay, you are invited or you are allowed to get into the seminar, join the discussions, whatever. But this seminar will not count as a credit. Okay, simply says you take it for fun. Okay, take it for research discussion, but no course credit. Okay, so that's the first one. In the data and information system area, we cover roughly three fields. Could be more if you consider social economic networks as another one. Okay, so we have one part we call database systems. We offer CS411 and CS511 and some research-oriented CS598 course. Okay. For data mining, essentially, so far, I'm the only one dedicated to this. So we offer CS412 and CS512. Because this fall, I actually did not teach CS412, but Professor Kevin Chiang was teaching it. Now, Professor Harry Sundaram is teaching another one in spring CS412. One reason I did not teach is I taught 2 Coursera courses in the spring, okay, together with my graduate level course. It was really heavy, so I discussed with the department. The department gave me a course release. That's the reason I did not teach CS412 in the spring, in the fall, 2015. But I will be teaching CS412 in the fall of 2016. That means this fall, okay. But no matter who is teaching it, the course material will be very similar because it's my own textbook. Okay, so you can go down to either my offering or go down to Kevin or Harry's offering. You can download those slides if you did not teach it. I hope you have this background to take this course. Okay. Then for CS 512, this course, I have been teaching this for years. Every spring I have been teaching this one. And this one, we actually changed the course contents, year by year. The reason is this is a research course. I want to bring everyone in class to the research frontier. Okay. To that extent, if you learned even last year's CS 412, actually 512 actually is different, somehow different. There are about 30 to 40, technical contents are different. Okay, so it's not non-trivial difference. To that context, if you just took the previous midterm exam, you want to say, I just need to know this material, it could be quite wrong. Okay. Then you may find there are lots of new papers. Okay, many papers are published 2015. Okay, we could not include it in the last year's course. Okay. Then we have text information systems, and we have social and economic networks. That graduate level course taught by Harry. So those are all the courses taught by the DIAS faculty. And before I give you this course contents, I should mention we do have UIC data mining specialization, which actually consists of 6 or 7 courses. Okay. And the course will be taught this semester again. Okay. But it's a little late. I think they probably will start in late February or March or sometime. Okay. But they are going to open all these courses at the same time. So it simply says, if you want to make up your background, okay, you should make up earlier rather than wait until March, okay, which is too late. So the best way is you probably go to Coursera or go to the offering professors, getting their slides. Whether the video they are going to release it now or not, I'm not quite sure, but they are going to release once this Coursera courses open up. Okay. And when it will open up, I'm not exactly sure I can inform you by the time, but the tentative date is late February or early March. Okay. So for those courses, I think it's good. You can learn it by yourself. That's exactly the Coursera purpose. Okay. Even you took CS412, I think it's still very interesting. You watch it because you will find there are lots of new things or lots of interesting things. Will not take you too much time. You learn this. Because of this Coursera, I actually changed the CS512 some contents. If you took my CS512 last spring, or you just download the slides earlier, like before the new year, I actually kept the old one. Cluster analysis in data mining, this course, actually split them into two parts. One part, the basic concepts, was taught in CS 412. The advanced one was taught in CS 512. Okay. Because of this Coursera, I was thinking if I teach the advanced cluster analysis in CS 512, it could be a little redundant from my Coursera teaching. So essentially, I cut this part. Okay. If you want to learn this part, okay, you watch the Coursera video. Okay. It's good material, but I do not want to repeat it in this class. It's a good thing you watch the video, learn by yourself. That's 21st century, right? So it's a new education system. You can benefit by watching the professor give you 10 minutes, 15 minutes, just a short session. You learn quite a lot. You can repeat it. So it's very, very convenient for learning. I myself, some material I do not know, I want to watch Coursera from like Stanford or MIT because you really learn something. Nobody knows everything. Okay. So that's why I put those things. You may click the link. It may be not linkable now, but it will be, active again. Okay. Then about this class. Actually, for this class, I'm not sure whether the two TAs are here. Okay. Yeah, I probably, after I finish this one, I'll introduce our two TAs. Then we probably can ask TA to leave. They don't have to be in this class, for 45 minutes, for 75 minutes. This class, the technical contents, I almost break down to every week. Okay. This class, let's say 0.5, the first lecture is introduction. Then we will have network science, introduction to networks. I'm going to spend 3 lectures on it. Then we will lecture on mining heterogeneous information networks, which essentially is this ebook. Okay, that's a book actually was my previous PhD student, Zhou San. She actually received 2013 KDD Dissertation Award. That means 2013, the graduate PhD internationally, she was at least the only one received this award. Okay, so that's her book. That's her thesis as well. Okay, so we are going to use a lot of material from this book. And since you are a UIAC student, you go down to, I think the one called Morgan and Claypool Publishers. If you go to the library, e-library, you click this, you actually, I think I have the link as well on my homepage. Okay, so you will be able to download this one for free. So this you don't have to pay a penny, you actually get a textbook. Okay, but that textbook unfortunately only lasts for 3 lectures or 4 lectures, 2 weeks. Then we go to another one, text mining. Text mining, we got sorry, I just give you the wrong one. This one is Zhou San's book. This one is Chi Wang's book. He received last year's KDD Dissertation Award. Okay, the group really got rewarded by international community because the other one, the runner-up actually is the CMU PhD. It's the best one in CMU, but he got #1. Okay, so he is now in Microsoft Research in Redmond as a researcher. But we are not mainly using this one. This one probably will cover very minorly because we have a lot of 2015 results. We will discuss text mining, especially we do have phrase mining, which won the 2015 Europe Dataset Challenge Grand Prize. Okay, that paper we are going to discuss as well. Okay, and we actually waiting for one paper to be accepted, which is our TA's paper. Okay, we may use part of it in the class as well. Okay, so this is a text mining. After text mining, we're going to discuss truth finding using 2 lectures. Our another TA, Shizhi, actually got a KDD 2015 paper on truth finding. I am not sure whether we got time to touch her paper, but anyway, truth finding, we got lots of papers to study. Then we will spend 1 week on stream data mining. That's the paper we actually work out together with IBM Research in early 2000. I mean 2003, 2006, around that time, but it has been very popularly cited. So we are going to be mainly using those papers. Then we got spring break. I think somewhere the midterm exam I wrote down here on the text mining part. Then we will have mining spatial, temporal, and social media. There are many new research papers as well. Then I will spend about a week or even less to discuss advanced method on classification, advanced method on outlier analysis. Okay. Those methods are, most of those papers are very recent papers. That's the reason I said, there are many new papers. If you took CS 512, last year, probably you will still feel it's quite fresh. Okay. But I do want you to have active, participation in this class. One way to participate is, instead of I give you 75 minutes lecture every time, I actually try to nominate or find one student to present 10 minutes in each lecture. You first, send me a proposal, or TA a proposal. But the lecture, for example, if today we were going to discuss mining heterogeneous information networks, that 10 minutes, I would, suggest or require you to discuss this topic instead of any other topic. That means I probably will discuss with you. You find good papers, especially newer papers, maybe published in 2015 or just accepted in 2016. You may want to digest it. You may want to give 10 minutes lecture. Okay. The reward is for that 10 minutes lecture you did, you will be freed to do a survey. Okay. Everybody, no matter in a small group or individually, you are required to do a survey presentation which count as 15% of your class grade. Okay. But if you have very good preparation for the class, for 10 minutes, those slides and your presentation will count towards the evaluation. You don't have to do the survey. Okay. But everybody will need to do the research project. Okay. So that's the general arrangement for the class. So now you see the class is organized day by day. I already put it almost every day's activities there. Okay. Then now I'm going to discuss our class, concrete class information. Okay. The lecture time is Tuesday and Thursday this hour, and right after this, I have 45 minutes. I open up in my office. Feel free. You should come to my office and discuss anything you like. Okay. Course material or your survey proposal, or you want to prepare for the class lecture, or you want to discuss with me on your planned research topic, anything. Okay. You can discuss with me. I welcome you to come. You have the highest priority for these 45 minutes. Okay. I found that in many cases, some students, they do not come to me until the last moment, right before the midterm exam, or right before the project proposal due date. They come to me. I think, of course, even that time, I still welcome you, but I think you should come earlier. Okay. We have 2 teaching assistants. Hopefully we can get another one because the class is really big. We need some grader. I actually wrote a proposal to the department to ask a quarter-time TA to help grading. Okay. because we have online, we have on campus. On campus, we almost have 100 students. Okay, so currently we have 2 TAs, both are PhD students on data mining. One is Fangbo Tao, that's Fangbo is here, okay, and one is Shizhi. Here. They too have been working on data mining for years. They did really excellent work on research, of course, on many other things as well. If you search, they have lots of research papers. Actually, Fangbo last semester was in Army Research Lab in Maryland for almost the whole semester, working together with Army researchers, writing research papers, doing implementations, doing a lot of things. So they are really excellent researchers in the sense they're also doing a lot of summer intern in many different places. They have very good experience. So you got any question? They set up office hours already. And if you want to know, I think I can click the button. You'll probably, let me see whether I can just click this button. Or I think it's here. So you'll go to the home page of this class. You'll probably see class schedule and my office hour. Then you get staff, you get teaching assistant, and we have TA's office hour published here as well. Okay, so you just follow this home page, CS 512, the home page of this course. Okay, of course, most time I myself only bookmark to the lecture page, okay, because every time the lecture page, I'm going to download the new slides for this class. So I would suggest you at least you bookmark on the lecture page, because if you look at this, the lecture page I have here, let me see whether it's, yeah. Let's go down to the lecture page. This is the home. Let me see where's the lecture. I just go back a little. This page is the lecture page. Okay. The lecture page, the most important thing is this column, slides. Okay. Of course, there are concrete topics. You can click the button, you download the PDF of the textbook or papers. But the slides are all here. Okay. And I have 2 buttons. One is PPT, one is PDF. Okay. The reason is a lot of people are using smartphone to read. I actually, make this size of the, if you look at this one, the size of the lecture, the slides, are exactly matching the smartphone format. Okay, that means it is 9 by 16. Okay, so you can download the PPT, you can watch using your smartphone. Okay, this is 21st century. So definitely you want to even, writing in the car, you probably can read it as well. Of course, I do not recommend you to read if you are the driver. So I think for most of things, you communicate with TA. My suggestion is we are going to use Piazza rather than you just sending emails to TA. Because sending emails, first thing is literally interrupting. Another thing is only you got it. If you think this question is interest to the whole class, you post it in the Piazza. TA can reply you, but on the other hand, anyone in the class you think you have good solution or good answer, you can reply immediately. So TA actually may just need to monitor it instead of TA have to reply everyone. Okay, I hope in this class everybody will be active in class and also in Piazza discussion forum. So any other student need help, okay, we are going to to ask anybody else to post to answer the question immediately. Okay. So any question about the TA? Okay. So then I will ask these two TA, if you want to leave, you can leave, because you don't have to spend the whole lecture in this classroom. You know everything already. Okay. Okay, thank you. So now we get into the prerequisites. For this class, we assume you took CS412 before. At least you know the material. That's why I do not rigorously look at transcripts to see whether you got CS412. But on the other hand, I will need you to know at least those things. Okay. One thing is the basic statistics, basic machine learning concepts, and basic data and information system concepts, because those concepts are critical for you to really understand, digest the recent research papers. This course is graduate level. A lot of materials actually are in the research paper. If you do not have background, you cannot understand the technical contents. You fear you will be frustrated. Okay, that's exactly. There are some students from non-CS major. They come, they say, I want to take this course because I want to know data mining. Then I actually sending email back and forth, I would suggest him or her first take CS412, because based on my discussion with this person, I found you need more background for preparation. Okay. Once you are prepared, you may enjoy it. Otherwise, you may fear, suffer in the class, because you may be ranked at the bottom. Remember, our grading is curved. Okay. If you're at the bottom, you not only you suffer from the psychologically, you really suffer from grading, okay? So that's the reason I would suggest you are not well prepared. You don't have to stay in this class. You can go to CS412 or other classes. Okay? You don't have to suffer. Okay. Then the course website I already mentioned. I will not repeat it again. The best way, if you do not have a bookmark at the beginning, you just Google it, Google my name, then look at the teaching. The first entry is CS512. You click it, you get into my lecture page. So it's very easy. Okay. So that's about the class information. Then about textbooks. Okay. Actually, even I put down these two textbooks. I should say the first one, you can download it. You really do not have to spend a penny. Okay, you can download it from the university website. You can get the PDF, which is as good. Okay, of course you can go to Amazon to buy it, but you buy it, it's just like this kind of thing. Okay, it's almost same as what you printed. Okay. Then for my textbook, I should say I'm not going to strictly follow this textbook. So if you have CS412, you already have the textbook, which is good. If you did not take CS412, I'm not really suggesting you have to buy it. Okay, I put it on reserve in the university library. There are some not very good ones, actually. That means some preprints, not a final version. I also put it on the web. You can download it if you like. Okay, but we are going to mainly using research papers. So that to that extent, you do not need to spend a lot of money to buy textbooks. Okay, but we do have a few recommended books. I also put those books on reserve unless it's not published yet. Okay, we have Mark Newman's textbook, Network Introduction. It will be used in the first 3 lectures. Okay, then we have Alberto Lazio Barabasi. Unfortunately, his book is not published yet. Okay, I only scanned some preprints. I haven't got a chance to even get a book yet because officially it will be published in late April 2016. Okay, it's a good book. I would recommend, after this lecture, because this semester almost ending, then the book will be published. But it's good. You may like to buy it or you read it somewhere because it's a very good textbook. I read it. I think it's better than Mark Newman's. But they too are discussing something similar. We are going to only cover 3 lectures. Okay. Then there are other books I think it's more like a reference book. Okay, we're not going to use a class, but if you want to make up some good data mining background, these are very good books. Especially, I probably will recommend Zaki's book, Data Mining and Analysis, Fundamental Concepts and Algorithms. It covers a little narrow scope than my textbook, but get into much more detail, give you lots of very good examples. So it's a very good way to learn it. So I strongly recommend you. I put it on reserve in the library, but if you have money, you want to buy it, this could be a book you may like to buy. The final one, Murphy's machine learning textbook, is very good. We're not going to touch it because this book is more on the statistical and probabilistic perspective. They use lots of formulas related to statistics, but it's a very good textbook. Okay. Now we come down to our course requirements. Okay. For any course, including this one, we are going to evaluate students rigorously, fairly. Okay. Fairly in the sense, we get lots of checkpoints. I hope you can accomplish every checkpoint in a great shape. Okay. Then finally, I'm going to give you a grade, at least the TA to give you a grade. But remember, the grade is not given by me, it's by computers. Okay. Simply says, every point you get certain numbers, and finally, we add it up, we do the curve in class. Essentially, everything was done by computer. Okay. That means you have to earn those credits by yourself instead of I, graciously give you A. Okay. You probably can see we have 2 assignments. It counts only 10% in total. That means 5% each. But 5% is still 5% because the class is a grade level. Everybody works hard. So if you say, I skip this 5%, likely you can drop down to the bottom of the class. So you really have to do it. Okay. And whether these, in the past, the 2 assignments are all written assignments, I discussed with the TA, actually we may think about it given some small programming assignment as well. Small in the sense, you probably can finish in a reasonably short time. And then it's closely related to what you have learned. You get some experience by playing with the data, which probably give you, rather than just writing essays. So I think it's a good practice. We'll try it. Okay. But it will not count that much. But I think it's a lot of fun to learn those algorithms that you write by yourself to see how it works in the real data sets. We have 2 midterm exams. Each counts 20%. The midterm exam, if you took my course before, my style is, it is closed book, closed notes, but it's not completely closed. In the sense, I actually encourage each student to bring 1 sheet. 1 sheet means 7 by 11, those sheet. You can print double-sided. You can print a tiny font because I allow you to bring magnifying glass, okay? But anyway, because different people, the eye, power is different, But anyway, you print it, you bring to your exam site. You actually can read this during the exam, okay, as a reference. Actually, a lot of students say, what to put in this sheet. Actually, it's a good exercise. You need to read, digest a lot of things and decide whether this one should be put there or the other one is in my mind already. Okay, so it's a very good review process. Most people feel, some people said, even I keep this sheet, even after years, when I want to review it, I just bring this sheet, immediately everything become fresh. So I think it's a good way. That's your own sheet. I did have the student who forgot to bring the sheet in the exam, and he did it miserably. Okay, so I just say, unfortunately, it's your responsibility to bring the sheet. I do allow it, but if you did not bring it, you cannot blame me. Okay, so that's one. Another one is research project proposal. Strange enough, we say 0%. 0% you still have to hand in. Okay. The reason is the TA probably put a mark there, say whether your proposal is good or you need a lot of improvement, but it's fine. The TA will not penalize you at all. But if you did not even hand in, the TA may put a mark there, say this student did not hand in. Okay. Then the final grading, the TA has a right to penalize you, right, somehow. That's based on his or her own judgment. So that means you need hand in. Even you hand in, you say, my proposal is not in good shape yet. It's just fourth week. I may change it completely. Fine. Okay. You hand in, you get help from TA for me. So at least we can say, this is not a good topic. You better change it. Or this topic is too old. You know, there are hundreds of papers published. You did not have anything new to write it down. You better not do it. We can tell you something, give you help. So you just need one page, okay? It's not even double-sided. One side, it should be fine, okay? One page. And for this one page, you need to write down the title, write down the abstract, write down the list of papers you are going to rely on, okay? Then at least we know what you want to do, what you are going to reference. We can give you good suggestions, say, oh, there are some new papers you want to read, or these are not very good papers for this topic, or this topic itself is not a very good topic. So you are encouraged to even discuss with anyone, with me, with TA, and we actually have another interesting one is we are going to even ask my research group students, the research student, most are PhD, some are masters. They're going to post the topic they like to collaborate with you, okay? Then you may actually send your CV, send your credential to the student or postdoc. They probably can actually help you to form a good research topic, work with you. Okay. Then finally, when you submit it, you just say, this one actually is working together with the data mining research group. What is my contribution? That's fine. As long as I write them clearly, it does count. Okay. But the research topic and the survey topic can be done in groups. But I do not suggest any bigger group, usually 2 to 3. Okay. If you get like 8 people as a group, I even do not know which one did the real work, which one just watching. Okay. So that's the reason small groups are encouraged. Okay. You can group also with some PhD students not in this class, or not even in my group. It doesn't matter. As long as you write down what is your contribution, what is the other people's contribution, it should be clear. Okay. Actually, in the past, almost every year, this class generates some brilliant papers. Okay. This class, by history, I can say last year, 2015, the student took this class, get benefit this class. There's 3 people went to Stanford for graduate program. 2 went to PhD, 1 went to master. Previously, we also have 1 student now is in MIT PhD now. Okay. Another one actually in CMU. Okay. Of course, there are more in UIC. Simply says they got lots of benefit from this lecture, okay, from this class, from research project. The student now is in PhD program, Vash, she actually got 3 or 4 research papers by working with the group. She took this class a few years ago. By the time of graduation, she got a CRA undergraduate research award. For female, there's only 1 in the whole country a year. For male, there's only 1 in the country a year. So she got 1. The runner-up actually is from Princeton and Stanford. Okay, and that means she got even better than, the Stanford, Princeton undergrad students. Okay, so you work hard, you get that. Another student, Jonathan Hook, he was in this class, got CS412, got A+, CS512 also got A+. He is in PhD in Stanford now. And last year, his paper got Best of EDBT, which is one of the top conference on database systems in Europe. they say the Europe Sigma conference, and he got best of EDBT 2015. Okay. So that's a student in this class, a quality. Okay. I hope this year we will have something as well. Okay. Because every year I found there are some very, very excellent students got very excellent projects. I hope there's no wonder we will generate something in this classroom as well. Okay. So you have to work hard. Then for survey and research project, I would say survey is not extra burden. I strongly encourage you line up your research survey with your research project. That means, suppose you say, I'm going to work on, say, information propagation in heterogeneous information networks. Okay. Suppose you say, that's the one I really, really, die for it. Then you do a survey on this, review all the possible papers in the nearby, things. Then you also do a final project. So this survey actually is preparation for your research. So the two things I just count separately as 2 credits. Essentially, it's one thing. Okay, but the research project finally will count 35%. The survey will count 15%. If you consider that, you do really good survey and good research, you get half of this class credit. Okay, so that's the major part for this class. Then, who is going to judge this? I should say me and you. Okay, what we do is this. For both survey and a final course project, we are going to open up, partition the class into groups. Everybody will be evaluating a portion. For example, if I partition our class into 3 parts, 3 groups, A, B, C, you are going to be responsible to evaluate 1/3 of the final project you give score. Okay. Of course, TA and me, we are going to give score as well. How we balance them? We actually, every evaluation, every group, that means TA and the instructor will count 50%. Your evaluation, your group evaluation, will count 50%. That's the schema. Okay, that's a grading system. So we want to be fair. Okay, but for your grading, there's a little trick we played. Okay, one trick is because we know some people may have personal relationship or friendship or enemyship. Okay, so we actually took the top 1 and the bottom 1 score kick out. Because I don't know whether you are a so close friend, no matter whether this student is how aware, you give full score. Or you are a sworn enemy, you actually give very low scores. Okay, we kick out the top and bottom, then we average the remaining. Okay, this one in statistics called trimmed average, right? Everybody knows. Actually, even in Olympics, they do that, right? So the Olympics, the figure skating, they kick out the one top one bottom one, they average the remaining one. Okay, that's the same schema here. Okay, and it worked out very well in the sense we finally found your judgment and our judgment in most cases are very consistent. Okay, that means we evaluate some top project, you also evaluate, say this one is top. Okay, and how to make a really good project? Start early. Okay, that's exactly. I said I'm going to check you at the end of the 4th week instead of the end of 12th week. Okay, so that means you should start day 1. You should think about your research project. Okay, so that's about. Another thing I probably want to say before I leave this one is class presentation. I already said I plan to use 10 minutes in the very end of the lecture to ask you, any of you, to stand up here. Of course, you have to upload the slides as where you present. Okay, that presentation itself counts as your research survey. Okay, of course, you say, I died for research survey. I want to hand in another one. That's fine. If you want to hand in another one, I probably say the highest score count. Okay, that means you can do double work, but we only count one work, which is higher. Okay, either your presentation is higher or your final research survey report is higher, I can't hire one. Okay, at least you have a chance to make higher scores. You probably will be encouraged to do it. Okay. But we don't want you to present randomly. Essentially, this. We probably open up a page, or you can open up the email. You can say, I'm going to present next Thursday. You're going to send me something. You say, this is the thing I'm going to present. Okay. I'm going to check it. If it's not a very good topic, I probably either ask to change topic, or I may ask another student to present. Especially if for any slot I got more than one student to compete. I likely will only grant one instead of grant both, because grant both, you only got 5 minutes. Maybe it's a little too short for you to present anything meaningful. So that's the general formula. Okay. Why we do this? One thing is, of course, I encourage you to participate in the class, especially if you spend a long time reading things. Another thing is, I think the students are a generation younger than me. You have many smart ideas, you get better preparation, you probably have time to read a lot of new things than I have. Okay, so you may read something, especially newer conference proceedings, newer reports. You may find something truly interesting. I may not even know it, right? So by presenting it, the whole class learns something. I learn something as well. Okay, so I think that will enrich our class, not go beyond, my own knowledge. I strongly encourage this. Okay. So, yeah, before I do this, I probably want to get a comment from you. How do you like this breaking? Okay, because finally, like I said, it's graded by the whole class. Okay, I want to first get agreement with you whether you like this distribution or not. How many people like this distribution? I first want to ask. Okay. How many people do not like this distribution? Okay, just.
Well, I think you should get some participation credit as well. It could be like 5%, but I think that will encourage constructive dialogue in the classroom.
Okay, yeah, that's a very good suggestion. What about this? Okay, the suggestion is we should count the classroom participation as well. Yeah, could be like 2%, but maybe still good, right? Yeah, I think it's a very good idea. That's a good idea. I probably will prepare a sign-up sheet, because that's the only way we can trace everybody's participation. Okay. Sign-up sheet, I do allow the students probably the whole semester to miss 1 or 2 lectures. The reason is some people may say, I have a job interview, I have something conference I have to present, or I have family emergency or something. Then you can watch video. Okay. But other than that, if you go beyond the 2 lecture missing, unless you have some situation which is, you can discuss with me, get permission. Otherwise, you will not be able to make up these 2 points. That good? Okay. Yeah, I think it's a very good suggestion. Okay, I actually want to see such a full classroom, because usually right in the middle of the lecture, I found that the people say, oh, this is too early class, it's too cold outside. I better watch video instead of coming to the classroom, right? So I like the full classroom, we have more discussions, rather than, you're hiding at home. Actually, it's not a very good way to learn, right? Learning is a society thing, it's not just a watching, okay? So I think it's a very good suggestion. I'm going to implement it. I probably will take those 2 points, maybe, take the class presentation and the research survey part. I probably take that 2 points and make that one 13 plus 2. Okay, I mean the 13 will be the class presentation. I think it's a great suggestion. Okay, thank you. So now I actually give a little detail on the requirement for the final course project. The final course project is 35% how we are going to evaluate it. Okay. The evaluate, essentially, we have three major criteria. Okay. One we call technical innovation. Technical innovation means the project must be somewhat fresh. Remember, that's exactly I give you the paper published in 2015. Okay. The reason is anybody in the world, a human, the capability is you can learn things very fast. Okay. Then you can go to the standing on the frontier to create. You think about this. Okay. If we turn back to, say, 400 or 500 years ago, actually, that time even you discover like universal gravity or, like F equals ma, you will be the greatest scientist in the world, right? But now every probably middle school student know it. So they will think this is off course. That's the power of human learning, right? You think about it, when I was a graduate student, I create something. Nowadays, it's common sense already. Okay, when you were in high school, you think, oh, this is easy, they're doing this programming. I remember when I was in the graduate school, we wrote something in assembly code. You probably don't want to even think about assembly code. And we use punch card. Okay, the other day I brought my student to Paris in a conference. They have a computer museum. I led them to the museum and I said, I'm going to show you the punch card. And then I was a dinosaur because the museum did not have punch card machine, okay, because it was prehistorical, right? So that simply says, human can learn, can standing on the top of the previous generation. Okay. So that's the reason I emphasize on the technical innovation. You read the previous paper, they move that far. You want to move ahead. Okay, so that's one is the first requirement. Okay. You have to read a lot, decide whether it's new or not. Okay. The second thing is thoroughness of the work. That means you get something innovative, but you have to do it thoroughly, inside out. Okay. You cannot say, I just got a proposal, I do some hand waving, then that's it. Okay. You get a good idea, you have to implement it, you prove it, you compare with the related work or any other thing, you say, I'm better. Okay. So that's the thoroughness of the work is very important. The third one is clarity of presentation. That means you have to present your results in a very nice way. That means very clean as a paper people like to read. And we actually require you to present in the class in the final stage. And every project will only give something like 10 minutes. But at 10 minutes, you get slides. You probably get 10 to 15 slides even. You will have a good way, good capacity to present almost most of things you can pass to the class. So the clarity of presentation is important. And we want the whole class to evaluate based on these three standards. Okay. We are going to evaluate this as well. In the past, I even write down everybody's 1/3. We can do that, or we can get a Barkey score. But no matter what, you need to take these three into consideration. Okay. So, how long your proposal report should be, I think it's more or less like a typical research paper. Okay. If you think a double-sided research paper in many conferences give you like 10 to 12 pages, this double column, like 10-point font size. Of course, you don't have to use exactly the format, but it's around one research paper, that kind of thing. Okay. Of course, you can write longer. There's no page limit. But I expect you don't write too short, like 3 pages. I do not know how to evaluate you, right? Any questions about this? So we get agreement beforehand. Simply says you take this class, you're responsible to accomplish this in good shape. Then you get an A. Okay. For this class, we do have A+, A minus, this one going down. But most of the graduate level class, we do not grade very harshly. So the student get an A. If we say 50% of the student get A, is nothing, nothing strange. I should say it's quite typical. But you have to get into, top 50% or something like this. Okay. So we do have, student get a poor score if you did a miserable in all those items. Okay. But you are responsible. We try to make everybody, if you are very close to the curve, you still get something reasonable or decent. But if you fall far behind, you definitely get penalized. Okay. Any question on this? Hopefully you all agree, then we can move on. Okay. Then there are lots of major research forums. For example, if you want to read a lot of things, most of the things we discussed, either published in the data mining conferences or database conference or machine learning conference or IR, this should be and web conferences like SIG-IR, CIKM, WWW, Wisdom, social network conferences, all those journals. Of course, by using Google or Google Scholar, you can find lots of papers. But I think if you want to find the paper in the reputed forums, those are the related and reputed forums. Okay. But anyway, we are going to give you lots of papers you can read as well. Okay. You can go to our own group's research website. There are lots of new papers you can read as well. Okay. So I probably should say this lecture or this course essentially is we start from data mining, which actually this book even you use now. The first version was published, I think, around 1999 or 2000. Okay, that's a long time ago. But we moved on to link mining. This one I think is published 2010. That's the first version. Then I just show you the newer books, but those books were essentially PhD thesis. One is Yizhou Sen's PhD thesis, one is Shi Wang's PhD thesis. They all get dissertation award. I hope the student here, if you were in the PhD program, I hope by the end of your finishing, you can get this honor as well. Remember, it's only one in the world. It's very competitive. Okay. So this is our UIC campus. I quite often like to show this even when I visit China, because China, Tsinghua University have almost exactly copy of this one. Okay, so I show it once. I show it in Tsinghua University. I say, "Where is this?" The people stare on that, and one smart student said, "This is a replica of Tsinghua University." I said, "You got a very smart answer, but I just reversed it. I think Tsinghua University replica of UIUC, just because UIUC came earlier, right? This is 1870 or something. The other one is 1910 or something. So that's why the copyright is very clear. Okay, but anyway, so this is an interesting one because there are lots of history related to this two campuses. Okay, so I finish the general one, then I will give you another interesting one, but I'm not going to finish this one because you are going to use it in class anyway. Okay. I'm going to show you some slides we think is very recent. This slides, or this set slides, basically in the last 1 month, I actually lectured this in at least several places. One place is I went to UCLA, give a distinguished seminar in UCLA. I use this set slides. That's early December. In the middle of December, I went to Florida. That's IEEE International Symposium on Multimedia. They asked me to give a keynote speech. I used this set of slides. And last week, I was in Poland, in Wrocław, Poland, for Network Science 2016 conference. They asked me to give a keynote speech. I used the same set of slides. Okay. And this slide is actually penetrating our class. That's the reason I want to just show you the slides. You may download it. Then you are going to see what you are going to learn in this class. Okay. So why I would like to use these slides, the major thing is, according to my view, or my student view as well. Okay. We are living in a we call big data age. Why everybody recognizes this big data age? Because everyone, anywhere, you find a data generator. Okay. You log into your Facebook account, you type something, you generate data. Okay. You may even have a smartphone. You carry this phone anywhere. You leave some traces on the GPS locations. You generate data. Sensors, internet of everything, they generate lots of data. So anywhere generate huge amount of data. I went to UCLA into their medical school to give a talk because they generated, the human genome. In the past, it's almost like $1 billion effort to generate the first human genome. Okay. Now, the human genome, $1,000 you can generate one. The same thing. Okay. It's your own. Okay. The first human genome was generated by, I think one of the first was, I think the Nobel Prize winner who proposed this DNA structure. I forgot his name. It's Craig or somebody. Another one actually was the venture something, the CEO who do the generation. The CEO generate his own copy, okay, of DNA structure. Okay, that's very exciting already. Of course, it's very expensive. Now everybody, okay, you think about $1,000, you can generate DNA structure. The data is huge. Okay. So we got this huge amount of data. The major task or major challenge we want to handle is turn this data into knowledge. Okay. Otherwise, the DNA just ATGC, those kind of letters or chains, it doesn't mean anything. But once you turn it into knowledge, they will know, whether you may have any problem in your heart, or you have risk for Alzheimer, or you can live to 150. Okay, so that's the Human Genome Project. The big data, how we turn into knowledge. You probably have accessed internet or databases. Like I went to Poland, the first thing I need to do is bring some, get into the cash machine, get into polish, their local currency. And they read my credit card or bank card. They have no problem. They even give me balance. Okay, so that simply says it's magic, but those are on the structured data because your bank account, is very well structured. It's very easy to do. But the majority of the data, when you talk, when you watch the video or something, these are unstructured data. The key thing is how we can turn unstructured data into knowledge. Okay. So what's the key? We propose you need to do something. People call this data to knowledge. We actually add an intermediate step called network. So that means people call D to K, data to knowledge. We call D to N to K. That means data to network to knowledge. So that's the major trick we are going to play. In this class, we take a network as a very critical part because we think network will play the intermediate important role to turn unstructured data into structured knowledge. Okay. So what we claim is you need to do 3 steps. One called structuring. That means you get unstructured data like unstructured text data. How can we turn this unstructured data into structures? Okay. Then how can you link those structured data into networks? And how can you mine these networks to get knowledge out? Okay. So we are going to show you in this course, this is doable. Okay. At least we got something done already, made very good progress in this line. And I hope you can join this game to turn data into structured networks, then finally turn into knowledge. If you can do that, you will become the hero, because the internet of things, or your daily, reading textbooks, reading research papers, everything can be structured, can turn into network, can automatically turn into knowledge. Okay, so it's a big game, but we think it's a very critical one. Okay, but our network is a little different from many people thinking about network. People thinking network, the typical people thinking is a web. Okay, the page link with pages. Okay, or Facebook, the person linking with person. This relationship is friends. Okay, we say these are all homogeneous networks in the sense every node is of the same type, person or web page. They link it together, form a network. This is a homogeneous network. But we are more interested in heterogeneous network. What are heterogeneous networks? I just give you a simple example, like medical networks. That's what I use in the medical school in UCLA. Okay, you have patients, doctors, disease, context treatments. You have genomes. You have all the different things. They all link together. Okay, if you just take patients linking with patients, it doesn't mean anything. Right? Patient link with doctor may mean something more, but actually you want a patient link with disease, probably disease link to treatment, treatment link to doctors, probably will make a lot more sense because people know what problem you have, again, how to treat it, or what you have been treated. Okay? So you probably see we need heterogeneous types, patients, doctors, disease, genes, all these things. Then they link together, they form a network. The network make a lot of sense. Just give you another thing, research publications, which you read lots of papers. Okay, we have publications, we have authors, we have venues, we have keywords or technical contents in the paper. They link together will make a lot of sense. A lot of people study the networks, say co-author networks. They just link author with author, they go to co-author network. Of course, it does make sense, but it does not make a lot of sense. Why you co-author with this guy? It must be you work on the same thing, right? So the stuff you work on link these two people together is more important than just author linking with authors. Okay? So I remember one time we got a interview person, okay, who came here from Stanford. Her topic actually say predict the co-authors, mainly based on other co-authors. I actually asked her, I say, do you co-author paper because your boss co-author with somebody, or your friend, or your boyfriend co-author someone you co-author with this one? You say, of course not. I say, well, what's the key you co-author with this person? Work on the same topic. That's it, right? You predict co-author just based on previous co-authors. If I previously not co-author with anyone, you never predict I will co-author with anyone. Right? That's ridiculous, right? But if we work on the same topic, we go to the same venue, we cite the same set of authors, likely we are going to be co-authors. So actually it's a heterogeneous relation. It's not a homogeneous relation. So that's the reason you probably see how we do it. We take this research paper, we break them up, we find it genes, proteins, species, or disease, or chemicals, or those things, they link together. One paper link this network doesn't make too much sense. But remember, in PubMed, there are 30 million papers. Okay? If you link this as a big 30 million paper, link this as a network, you probably can find something amazing. Okay? It's very rich, but it's structured because everything is typed. So we are going to study this tricks. Okay? So I'm going to just use 1 minute to just show you this paper by Yizhou San. She was a PhD student here. Okay, she was even served as TA for this class, okay, years ago. She got PhD in 2012, okay, and also get the best student paper award in KDD in 2012. This is her book. She just used this schema as a typical schema. Paper, linking with venue, with term, with authors. What she did, this is several things you can see what she did. She says the data input is just this boring entry. Say there are several authors, co-authors. They work on this topic. They publish this paper in Wisdom 2012. That's it. But there are 2 million of them in the database. Okay. Then what she says, I can do this. She has a long list she can do. It's amazingly good. One is she will be able to answer who are the leading researchers on a particular topic, like web search. Okay. I have a timer. Okay. So, but we will spend 1 minute, finish this, and we can finish the whole lecture this time. Okay. So you probably say who are the peer researchers of Yuri Leskovich? Yuri Leskovich is a young assistant professor in Stanford. Okay. Just say who is very similar to him. The third one is whom were Christos Falousos collaborate with. That means publishing papers in the next several years. Okay. You will think it's amazing. You can predict that he will be collaborating with whom. And actually, of course, she's not going to predict the new students because new students are never in the database. She just predicts somebody already in the database who will be collaborating with Christos publishing papers. It's amazingly informative and accurate. I'm going to show you. And you may even code your own routine to predict something. Okay? And how was the data field in the field of data mining emerge and evolving? Okay? And which authors are rather different from his peers in a particular topic. Those are outliers. There are many, many things. Okay? It can be done. It can be done in an amazingly accurate way. That's a data mining. Okay? And we are going to study inside the paper how to make structures. Okay, so we finished this lecture. I'm still holding office hour. If you have a particular thing, you can discuss with me either here or in my office. Thank you.